I'm Melissa Garcia for the Hornet, and you're watching Buzzworthy. His opinion. How do you feel about losing out on parking spaces if it meant getting a new parking structure?
Well, it would definitely suck for the people attending school right now, but in the long run, I say go for it because parking sucks.
So, do you have a lot of issues with the parking structure that we have now?
Well, if you come around the busy times, there's usually no space. So that's the main issue, I guess. Other than that, no.
So, what do you do if there's no parking spaces available?
You just keep on going.
Just keep circling. What's the longest that you've waited for parking?
30 minutes.
So, how do you feel about parking here?
It's the worst thing ever. I dread it every day.
Right. And what are some of the problems with it? Do you feel?
Probably one of the worst problems is like if you can't find parking, you like here in the parking structures, you'd have to go and find it somewhere else, like up in the hill in the neighborhoods or over there and risking getting a parking ticket.
Have you gotten a parking ticket before?
Yeah, I have, and I didn't pay it off on time, and it ended up accumulating, so it's like $100-something bucks.
Right.
Which is not fun. I could use that for something else.
Of course. So you wouldn't mind them like kind of closing down parking spaces in order to build a new one in the meantime, or how do you feel about that?
Me personally, I wouldn't really mind that much since I'm hoping to transfer. But for the future students, I say, I'm all for it. Just the fact that, you wouldn't have to worry about getting to class late. You'd be on time. A lot of people would be a lot more happier. And, usually every day it's a trek for me anyways, depending where I park. So if they can start up that new parking structure, it'd be awesome.
I don't think it would affect me much because I don't really park in the parking structure. I usually park across the street because there's never really any parking.
Yeah, I agree with her, but I think it would be nice if they made more parking structures for the future.
Do you guys have parking passes, or you just skip out on it because you park in the neighborhood?
Yeah, I don't get it because it just doesn't. Yeah.
Well, I had one last semester, but I didn't get one this one because sometimes I couldn't even find one. So.
Well, for me, I would mind because I'm not going to be here in 2 years, so I would rather, keep the parking spots that, we do have.
Do you have a parking pass right now?
I actually buy the daily passes. I did have a parking pass, but I only come to school, Mondays, Wednesdays, so I didn't really think it'd be that cost effective.
It would be really nice to get a new parking structure, but parking is so bad as is. I've got friends who have to park a couple blocks down, and they are actually followed to their cars late at night by creepy men because they have to park so far. And so while it would be nice to have a new parking structure, I think losing out on parking spots would just make getting to classes and just safety issues even a bigger trouble for people.
Yeah, I think that would be cool and all because parking here is ridiculous. I thought as soon as they built the school, I thought they would build 2 structures, but I guess they only built one. We're kind of seeing the bad effects of that now. So I guess students would give up parking spaces for another structure because we really need it because parking is just horrendous.
I would definitely give up some parking spaces for a better structure in the future because as of right now, I'd be lucky most of the time. There was one time I took 30 minutes to find parking. I just thought about leaving, but I had to stick around for class.
Did you miss your class or?
Oh, no, I just missed 20 minutes, nothing big.
Okay.
I think the idea of a new parking structure is good, but in the meantime, where will we park? We would need some type of temporary parking structure, but it's a good idea to build another one.
And do you guys have any horror stories that you've witnessed in the parking structure? Anything that you've seen that was just crazy?
I actually have one. It's crazy that you asked that. So, you guys know when in a parking structure you're supposed to go down a certain way. This lady went down the opposite way and started just tagging cars up. She was just going back and forth, just hitting, barely able to squeeze in there and park. And I was just watching the whole thing like, dang, somebody should do something about this. But, I'm not going to be that somebody. So, I just walked away from the situation.
I seen this person, I'm not going to say whose name it was, but they tried to turn into a parking spot and they hit someone's car and they just left. But no, it was not me.